Well, hello and welcome to my little recording here of some of my favourite bodywork techniques, moves, whatever you'd like to call them, just to help in regards to that restorative stuff that we've been talking about. So I've got some tools that we will be using. Now, if you don't have any of these things, that's okay. There's always options, always things we can play around with. So I have a little massage ball here. If you can get access to a golf ball, same thing, will work wonders. This one we're going to use for our feet. Now I'm very lucky, have a very solid massage ball here. Tennis ball works just as well. Or, you know, if you've got like I was going to say like a cricket ball, you know, a hard round kind of a ball, you know, a dog toy, that would work as long as it's clean. That would be really good as well. And I do have a foam roller. So foam rollers are generally really accessible these days. So you can get them online, most sports stores sell them. I do have a few available that I can sell if you need one or would like to have a look at them. I use, I've got two types. I've got a big one. I've also got a little one that I use mainly for my legs. And I've used foam rollers forever. So it's a love-hate thing, but I do find them fantastic for getting into some of those tight areas. So without me yabbering on as much as I always do, let's get into some of these techniques that I wanted to share. I'm actually going to bring my little piece of paper with me because you know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to forget what I was talking about. So, all right, so the first one we're going to do, under the feet. Now, really lovely. I was always taught to do this standing up, and when I learned this way of doing it sitting down, I was just like, wow. Because, you know, our feet take a lot of load. And this can be a really good one to do as part of a warm-up as well. So before you jump on to do your workout, doing this could be really beneficial for it's really about loosening up all the fascia through the soles of the feet and the muscles and that, and just working through some tight spots. So, I'll just move over here so you can see what I'm doing. So basically we're sitting down, we pop the ball under the sole of the foot. Oh, I haven't done this for a while either. And we just roll it around, And then if you find any tight little spots, just really focus on there and just put enough pressure that you feel a little bit of that tension, but you don't want to be going into super pain or discomfort, okay? And we just keep rolling back and forth. Really only want to be going for like 20 to 30 seconds. And like I say, finding a few of those little tight spots, just spending a bit of time there, but not going too crazy with it, and keep the foot moving. So you want to keep the foot moving over the ball, okay? That's the idea with this. So it should feel good. It's one way to, it's great as a, like a tool for warming up. See, I get really cranky through my arch. Some of the things I love about doing this, and I need to do it more often as well. You could do it before you went to bed. If you're just finding that you're having a day, like I'm having some days at the moment where my sleep is very much interrupted and I'm waking up with quite a jolt, which is then making me as I'm then struggling to get back to sleep afterwards. So my sleep isn't as deep and lovely as I'd like. So just taking a few moments to do something like this, and I should really do the other foot, but is just to help, just restore, calm. It just feels good. And that's what you want to be aiming for with this stuff. So, and I also have quite cranky neck and shoulders at the moment from sleeping on my daughter's bedroom floor. So I'm going to go through some stuff there around crankiness through my shoulders. And this is some of the stuff that I just love. I was for a while there, and it's a good habit to get into, doing some of this stuff before I go to bed. So part of my wind down bedtime routine is to spend, you know, half an hour just doing some foam rolling, some releasing of some tight muscles and things like that, because it just helps me unwind and get ready for a good sleep. Anyway, I've probably yabbered on long enough, but there you go. So that's one, ball under the foot. Golf ball, or, you know, I've got access to a nice little massage ball here. You could use a tennis ball, you're just not going to get quite as much of the in-depth into those cranky little spots. So that was one. Number two, I wanted to show you, this was a new technique I've learned. I haven't used it a huge amount, but I did find it quite interesting. And it's basically doing wrist and ankle friction. So we'll start with the ankles, because we've just been working on the feet anyway. I'm just going to roll these hands up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So all we do, both hands around the ankle, and then you're just going, one hand goes forward, one hand goes back, one hand goes forward, one hand goes back. And you're just creating that friction around your ankle. Again, shouldn't be really hurting or anything, but just creating that friction by putting one hand forward and one hand back, one hand forward, one hand back. And what that's actually doing is loosening up, I'll do it on the other ankle as well, loosening up that fascia that runs around the body. And again, it should just feel good. So this could be also something that you could do before your workout. So it's one hand forward, one hand back, one hand forward, one hand back. But, you know, yeah, it's just about loosening up that fascia and just taking some time to do some bodywork stuff for yourself that feels really good. So just doing that for me, my ankles are feeling nice and loose. And we can do it on the wrists as well. So again, it's just one hand, obviously, one hand around the wrist, and just go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And you know, you can just do it for 20, 30 seconds. Like, it doesn't have to be a really long thing. You don't want to be, you know, trying to hurt yourself. It should feel good. And shake it all out, and then we'll go the other way. Other way, other side. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Phew. So for me, that just feels really nice. Now, the other thing I was going to show you, well, we're here anyway, we're here. So I actually have added a few things. So I don't know about you mums, but I am getting super, super tight through my forearms. So there's a few things you can do here. So I kind of like doing a bit of a rub, but also getting my thumb and just doing a bit of a nice self massage. So I might come a little bit closer to the screen so you can see what I'm doing. So for me, I was suffering from tendonitis through my wrist in the early years of Callan being born. And every now and then I still get a bit cranky. I have been lately, possibly because, you know, wrangling a 2-year-old. So what I like to do is I just like to find, I've got a few tight spots that kind of come up just under my elbow. And so I'm just basically just giving myself a nice little self-massage. Now, the beauty about self-massage is you're not going to hurt yourself. You're not going to go deeper than you can tolerate. Whereas if somebody was doing this for you, they could go really deep, which might feel very painful, certainly not relaxing. And we want it to be relaxing and restorative, but also really bruised. And really bruising a muscle or ligament or fascia or anything, not super helpful. So, and again, just go for 20 to 30 seconds. I'm going to go on to the other side. So I find since I've had my daughter, I get quite tight here, but in saying that, when I was working full-time in an office with all the typing that I used to do, so my right side isn't quite as bad. Just so you can see what I'm doing here, I used to get really tight through here, and I used to get regular massages. And, you know, this is one of the areas the massage therapist would work on for me. And I'd be like, oh, I can use my hands again, because you just don't realise, sometimes you just don't realise how tight these areas are getting. So there we go, we'll just leave it there. So that's something you could do if you find that you're getting tight through here. Carrying children or wrangling children that are like, can really put quite a load through there as well. Now, I did talk about my cranky neck and shoulders. So I've been sleeping on the floor and it's caused me a little bit of discomfort. So this is another technique that I have learned. It's going to be a bit hard to see. Usually I would do it on my skin, but obviously I've got long sleeve top on, so that's not going to happen today. So I'm very tight through here, and it's really common for us to get quite tight through here. Okay, so I'm really tight through here at the moment. So one thing that I have learned is just do a little bit of massage and find that really tight spot. Push down on it and then drag it forward and release. Go back, push down, drag forward and release. And so I'm just working ever so slightly down the shoulder, push down, drag forward and release. And again, so that's finding another spot here, push down, drag forward and release. And basically, I'm just going to do this, push down, drag forward and release. Push down, drag forward and release. So, I mean, I'm not completely like, whoo, you know, I can move my neck again, but it feels good. So we'll just do the other side and release. Drag forward, release. 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 So it's a pin and drag forward, pin and drag forward. Oh, so that is one area that a lot of people tend to get quite tight and cranky in. Now, if you have access to a foam roller, preferably a big foam roller like this is another thing you can do for your shoulders. So basically here, what we're doing, we're putting the foam roller against the wall and we're going to lean into it on our shoulder and neck. So we're stepping away and we're leaning into it. Now this, it takes, oh, hang on. There we go. So it takes a little bit of fiddling around. But you probably can't see very well, but I've actually got it angled. So this side is higher than behind me. And then I can just sit into that tight area and just, again, probably only want to go 20 to 30 seconds, have a break, maybe do it again, break. All right, now I've yabbered on so much. This is supposed to be a short video and I can tell that it isn't already. So I might have to break this into a couple of videos because, you know. Actually, and the only, well, I was going to do some foam rolling and stuff, but I might leave that for another day. The only other thing I was going to show you was using a tennis ball. So this one's fabulous for our glutes, which tend to get quite tight and nasty as well. You can use a foam roller on your glutes as well. You don't have to use a ball, but the ball will get into the spot. So you basically pop your butt on the ball. Oh, I wish I hadn't done this. And roll it around and find a few little tight spots. And it is that pin and release. Pin and release. So again, you want it to feel, it's going to feel like, well, for me, it feels uncomfortable, but that's because my glutes are quite tight. So you want to try and find that happy place where it's not too painful, but that you feel some release. Okay, the idea being this is supposed to be restorative stuff, not so much pain that your body tenses up. So the idea being that it's uncomfortable, but your body is able to relax rather than it being so tight that your body just tenses up even more, because then you're not going to get benefit from it. So I'm not going to bother doing the other side because I know my other glute is even worse and you don't need to see that pain. So I'm going to leave it there. That is our restorative strategies. So we've done ball under the foot, wrist and ankle friction, a little bit of a massage through the forearms, a little bit of a massage, pin and pull through the shoulders. I've shown you foam roller for the shoulder and neck area, and I've shown you the tennis ball for your glutes. So that's just a few areas, and you know what, you could go to town on this stuff. So if there's more, or there's heaps more I could show you, if there's stuff that you're particularly interested in, reach out, because I'm always happy to share, because it's about finding that calm balance about building balance through your body as well, using this as an opportunity to unwind, but also using it as an opportunity to create movement through your body as well. So I'll leave it there. I hope you found that interesting and valuable and got something out of it. Always reach out if you've got any questions. Otherwise, I might do another workshop just on something like foam rolling. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Have a fabulous day, ladies.